Hello everyone and welcome to another video with Cass on the Maizuma channel. Alright guys, so what I have for you today is a very interesting concept for a mob farm. And I built this thing about 6 months ago, but as you guys know I haven't been posting videos and I have been trying to make this super duper incredible and perfect, but you know, this is something I want to change on my channel. I don't need to make things perfect, and this thing is very good the way it is. So let me try to present how it works. We can just flip this lever to initialize things here, and as you can see, the floors are initializing. We can already see some mobs spawning and dropping, but we will still have to reach the full potential of this thing. Like, we have to activate all the floors here. Like, it's still initializing, and when the initialization process reaches the final piece of floor there, then we will be able to see the full potential of this farm. So I will hit F1 so that you guys can have a better visual effect here. Yeah, I try to work on a lot of different aspects of this farm to try and make this a very effective trap, and as of now it's capable of dropping every 2 tall mob as well as spiders. So this is really good for bone meal, gunpowder and strings, which is mostly what we want from these mobs. You can also get witches eventually. Sometimes it drops the baby mobs, but it's not always the case because the system cannot catch all of them. And of course I will show you how and why. Sometimes some mobs insist on hanging around up there. So like, some mobs are really hard to drop. Like some spiders, for example, it's not always the case. Like, you can see some spiders up there, but even when spiders don't drop, they keep getting damage. So if they don't drop, they keep getting suffocation damage until they eventually die inside the system, or they drop. Okay, so I was very lazy with the system. I just wanted to test the concept, so I didn't create a collection system, as you can see. Instead, I have these command blocks. So I have something stored here, and I can use this button to clear the storage. All these items you see here, I can just press this button and kill them, or I can just flip this lever and start bringing the items to this armor stand here, and they start loading in the chest. Since I made this project so long ago, I'm not sure if that box made by Panda 4994 is actually hooked up to the system. So the statistics you see here on the right corner of the screen are not necessarily correct, but I know that it's around these numbers. I know that it's around 36,000 items per hour with this size of a farm. As you can see, we have a bunch of little modules, and you can expand this farm. You can make it really giant, or you can make a small farm. And if I did the numbers right, for each little module here, and we have 240 of those modules here, doesn't look like it, right? But it's 10 by 24. So we have 240 modules here. So every one of them can drop from 2 to 2 stacks and a half every hour. So if you have only 10 of those modules, you will be able to get 20 to 25 stacks of items every hour, which is almost enough to fill up a shulker box. Okay, I can fly up there so you guys can have a look at what is going on around here. So basically we raise the floor here so that there is not enough space to fit a 2 tall mobs, and that's how we kill them. You can see that some creepers are there inside. Sometimes creepers are hard to drop because they are too short. Yeah, but most of the time you can see that the farm is empty because it really does a good job trying to drop things. Yeah, the baby mob sometimes it's hard to drop, but if they are riding a chicken, Frequently, we are able to separate the chicken from them so that the chicken drops in there and dies from the fire, from the magma blocks as well. So yeah, this is a really good farm for. Let's see what happens to that spider. Maybe let's go into ghost mode here, so you guys can see. So this spider is resisting the floor, so it's not dropping because it's attached to the ceiling maybe, but I can see that it changes color. So every time the floor moves, it's taking suffocation damage, so it will eventually die here. And as you can see, it's not just the floor that raises. The ceiling also has pistons, so this is how we drop the spiders here, because they are too big to fit in here. Let me get back to the creative mode so that more mobs can spawn. Also here on top, this farm works based on a clock, so I just turn on the clock and then the cycle starts. Like the way I made it works, the signal goes all the way there, then it comes back here, and then all the way there, and it goes in a zigzag pattern here just to try and reduce lag so that we don't activate all the floors at the same time. I also added glowstone blocks up here just so that the light from the redstone torches won't cause any light updates here, to try and reduce lag even more. Yeah. And this is really simple, really simple. Once you know how to build a single module, let me go on game mode 3 once again, just to show you from inside here. It's just this. You have the piston pulling the floor, and those pistons up here, and on top of those we have the blocks with torches. And I'm trying to use comparators because someone told me that comparators cause less lag than repeaters. Yeah, and that's all. You just expand it to as far as you want, and then you get the results. Okay, so yeah, I think it works really well in the nether, but for the nether I have a possibly even better option. So yeah, let me show you this, because I'm not going to do a tutorial on this. I will make this map available so you guys can download and try to build this in your map. I know I am going to try and build this in survival, but I still need to show you one more thing. One thing that I talked about on Twitter recently, and a lot of people seem to like it, so why not show it right here for you guys. Alright guys, we are on my server now, and this is the prototype I have been working on recently, and I even showed you guys a picture on Twitter. So yeah, it's based on the same idea that I just showed you guys before in this same video, except it's not based on a clock. Instead, if I go a little bit closer here, you guys can see that we have observer blocks here at the ceiling. The ceiling is almost entirely made out of observer blocks, and we also have string here, so that whenever a mob spawns, and this didn't happen here for some reason, the string will detect them and the system will immediately respond by dropping the mob. So mobs are detected as soon as they spawn and they drop. So this system has a few other changes, and because we don't have the pistons on the ceiling anymore, as you can see, we are not able to deal very well with the spiders. Most of the time the spiders won't drop, so the system is ideal for too tall mobs and not for these guys. Like sometimes spiders will drop, but it's mostly because they're trying to cross from one of the platforms to the other, so that when any kind of detection happens, they get crushed in between. So yeah, as you can see here, this guy is taking lots of damage and eventually they drop, but it's more like by accident. It's not really that the system can properly deal with spiders. So it's ideally a farm that you would build in the nether, for example, for the zombie pigmen. So it would be a good gold farm if you work on a proper perimeter. You can see all the loot that we are collecting from these guys here. I don't have a collection system because I'm more worried about checking if the principle here actually works. So Yeah, you also will notice clearly that I don't have the alternating pattern with regular blocks and slime blocks, and there are reasons for that. So what I will do now is I will build one of those units for you guys, like a mini tutorial, and so that you guys, if you want to test this out and try this out in survival, yeah, you will be able to. Alright, so this is the base unit. So it's a 3x4 platform, which means we have 11 spots available for mobs to spawn. Then we have this layer made out of strings. You guys can maybe see what's going on here. And if a mob spawns here, it's immediately detected and the floor will automatically take care of this guy. Here on top we have observer blocks. They all face the same direction. Here we have blocks just to try and reduce the number of resources that you need, and also try to reduce the amount of redstone dust that you need. This repeater will not work and reset the system properly unless it's set on one tick. Any other configuration will create a clock or something undesirable. And here I'm using a redstone block. Okay, so this is how the entire system works. If you pause the video now, you will be able to build this system, and then you can just replicate this little unit as many times as you want. Let's see if we are lucky enough to get a one of the baby zombies. I could use a command probably. I try to force spawning them, but you know, if they get stuck here, and if another when another monster spawns, they will all drop. So we're not being any lucky here. And please give me a zombie baby thing. Okay, we're not lucky. I just wanted to show you guys that because the floor is all made out of slime blocks, the baby mobs, they start bumping, and somewhat they get suffocation damage, even if they don't drop, and they eventually die. One problem though is when they die, their drops will start bouncing up, and they will be detected by the string, so until their drops despawn after 5 minutes, the floor will keep moving. So yeah, not ideal. This guy was placed by me. I have glass here so other mobs will not be able to spawn, and on top of that I just place slabs. Okay, so yeah, this is how this works. And the other one is a little bit more complicated, and I'm not entirely in the mood for a tutorial, so I will just be lazy and leave you guys a map download available in the video description. So yeah, this is the concept I have been working on. I think it's very efficient, it's very easy to build as well. This one's not cheap, but the other one is really cheap considering the results that you're going to get, and very easy to build as well. So I really hope that you guys make something good out of this, and if you run any tests on this, just let me know. Yeah, and if you have more ideas on how to improve this also, this would be nice. Yeah, so share this, let people know, and this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.